Well, all right, it is about that time of the week. I realized that I was a day late last week, but this week, we on time. We gonna kick it. We about to kick it. We about to get things rolling. And if you're watching this, obviously you're watching it on YouTube because I haven't even started the stream over on the Discord yet. And if you want to watch these live, then you got to jump up my Discord. That's the way things work. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump over there and I'm going to begin the stream over on my Discord. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, do the little YouTube dance, hit like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell icon, all of that bullshit, all of that nifty stuff. And for now, I'm going to jump on over into the voice chat and I will say hi to Katrina, who is here as always. She's the reliable member of the community. And I don't know if Locke's going to show up. He's been busy with his Steam Deck. He's been having a lot of fun with that. And I can't say I blame him. I mean, I'd love to have a Steam Deck. I don't have the funds available for it at the moment. So anyway, let me go ahead and start the screen share so that so the lovely people in the Discord community who have actually jumped up my Discord can see the actual stuff that I'm doing. And where the hell is... There it is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to whack go live, and that's going to pop on up there. And as usual, we are still working on GURA. But while I do, of course, do the Sketch Weekly stream all the time, you will probably notice the one of you that was here last time, the only of you that was here last time, you will notice that I've got more work on here than I did when we left off the Sketch Weekly stream last time, because unlike my usual behavior, I actually pulled this out and did more work over the course of the week, which is kind of a new thing. I don't typically do that, but here at this point, which is roughly 9 months into the weekly sketching and all of that sort of thing, I actually have started to feel like I'm within spitting distance of doing something that is actually good. So that's got me kind of excited and kind of looking forward to actually finishing something that looks good, so that I can go, hey, look at the thing that I did, and people won't go, oh my God, you're a fucking idiot. So anyway, I've been doing all this work, and the thing is, I've been working on getting the hair right. If you recall, I got kind of focused on the hair last time, and that was very much what I was working on over there. And now I want to spend some more time working on the hair, and I've got a picture that I did. You can see this sketch right here. Let me turn off the reference. If I turn off the reference, you can see I did this. No reference. This is entirely just me staring at a blank screen and going, hey, this is what GURA looks like. And yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but it's not awful. I mean, it's okay. It's a thing. And that is a little sketch that I did earlier this morning. And the proportions are a little fucked up, but I think the eyes are looking really good. I think I did a good job working on the eyes last week, and now I've kind of got a handle on that, and that is working out really well. And you put all of this together, and we've got something that doesn't look horrible. And you can kind of see I've got the little blue accents where they go, and I've got the little flyaway bits of hair where they go. But I'm not happy with it. I haven't done a great job. So what I want to do is I want to kind of zoom in a little bit more and just kind of work on, let's focus on getting more done with the face. And I've got a picture here where her head's kind of tilted a little to the side. Now I've got another picture here where her head's tilted to the side again. And then I've got right here, I've got her looking more forward with the hat on. Now, the hat is in all of the curtain call images that I'm working on, so that hat is going to be important. But what I want to work on today is mostly just the hair, and I'm going to worry about the hair and the hat together a little bit later. because it's just like, I'm going to work on the hat. I'm going to work on like improving the hat, improving the clothes. There's not a whole lot to GURA's clothes, which is good because since there's not a whole lot to her clothes, let me come over here and grab another reference image. It's just like if I come down here and grab, oh come on, where's a good, there we go. We'll use this one. If I come over here and grab this one, there's not a whole lot of detail on the clothes. Okay? It's just kind of shapeless. And it's mostly about the design that's on it. And one of the issues that I'm going to run into, that I'm going to have to do a whole lot of work on, is these pockets. These pockets have shape, they have volume, and I'm going to have to think about that as I'm drawing those. And I'm going to have to try and get the spacing right on the mouth design and these little pulls, and there's a little fish skeleton zipper pull there. And there are other little bits and pieces, like making sure I get the bite on one half and the stitches on the other half of the tail, that I remember which side of the tail is long and which side is short, that I get the general feel of how the tail sits and where it's attached and all of that sort of thing. And I have actually determined some stuff that we didn't already have in the library. Let's see, what do we have here? We had here we have a picture of GURA with her chin up, so I can get kind of a better idea of how to draw her with a raised chin, which is important in this image over here. And this bit right there. And then here we have her tail from the side. It's not as thick as I was expecting. It's a slender tail. It's more of a slim tail. And you can see that like the back of her outfit just kind of hangs straight down, but she has a shark fin on the back there. And then we have up here, this has answered a question. We've been asking this all the way from the beginning, is what does GURA wear underneath of her outfit? And it is a pair of modesty shorts, exactly like I suspected. They're not as long as I expected them to be. They're kind of high and rather tightly form-fitting, as you can see there in the middle. But that has answered that question. That has answered the question of what does she wear underneath her outfit, exactly how thick is that tail coming out the back, and what does the underside of her chin look like. And all of these are from a VR stream that she did where she was using her 3D model. But those are canonical art reference. So I've got that, and I've got that to work from. That's more information that's going to be useful on the it's going to be useful on the curtain call thing, because what else do I had? Where's was it rough sketch? No, rough sketch. Yeah, that's rough outs. No, it was construction, I think. No, that's not it. Intermediates. Yeah, that's where I was working. Intermediates was kind of where I was, and I was trying to improve the facial images to go on that, and we're going to kind of put those two forms of line art together, and get that taken care of, and then we're going to start worrying about the coloring with the rough palette, and that's the direction we're going to go with that. This is not being abandoned. I'm just kind of stepping aside over here to work on GURA's hair, and in particular on the I don't want to draw directly on my reference here, but right here on the little twin tails on the side and this little shark decoration that she's got on. Those are all important. And I want to think about line quality here. I want to think about which lines are dark and which lines are slim, and where the lines go. I want to think about where the shadows are. I want to think about, because you could see here, if we zoom in, you could see that we've got the white in here, but we've also got this dark gray, and we've got a light gray right in there. And then we've got a light blue here, which is kind of it's more of a light cyan color. Right in there, kind of this aqua region. And then over here, we're much more of a medium blue. You can see that kind of shift over toward the blue. And you see right here, that's where the hue is on the ring. But then you'll see that shift much more into the blue region when I check over here. So it shifts much more over to this area, which means that what we have right here is we have a cooler sort of color there. And this is sort of a warmer blue. Now, when you get a really warm blue, it starts to become purple. And she only gets into this sort of region of blue right here. So we're looking at kind of, that's at what, and what the hell is going on here? Brush pen custom test, isn't that the right? What is going on there? Oh, that's because I'm on the vector line and not on the color. But we've got kind of this on the vector line, we can remove all of that. But we've got kind of this sort of blue, but then we've also got this aqua right here. Grumble. Switch it to the wrong layer. But then you've got this aqua, and you can see that those are very different hues. In addition to, you can switch from this over to the same hue, and you can see that that's very different from the original, because it's more of a greenish. It's more of an aqua. And we've got sort of this, we've got an aqua right here and an aqua right here. And then over to the side here, we've got more aqua. But then up here, we've got a slightly darker sort of bluish color. And then, of course, we've got the blue of her eyes. And I think it's productive to think of this as, if you just think of this as the different colors of her eyes. And then obviously you've got the white highlights, which we've been doing in with opacity. And of course you jump down here to do the little black pupil. Well, first you pull your opacity back up. And of course this is a very large brush, which is larger than you should be using for something like this. But this is just kind of examples. And in any case, what I want to do is I want to kind of look at this and I want to think about how all of this fits together and look at the question of, we want to have a bold line here, bold lines for the edge of the hair, but then on the inside, we've got these lighter lines. Wow, I'm doing a great job there. And just to kind of trace over these and kind of go, what are these like? What does it feel like to draw these? Because you're training yourself with all of this. So you want to try, even though you're just tracing, even though you could sit there and just go sketch, 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 you still want to try and get that smooth line. You still want to draw it the same way that you would draw it freehand if you were not using any reference at all. Just kind of get that notion of what this feels like. This is incidentally a very Chinese way of doing things. It's one of the things that I learned in studying a lot of and studying a whole lot of different martial arts, is that like the Japanese will explain something to you and make you do it, and then they'll explain it again and they'll make you do it again, and they'll explain it again and make you do it again, and they'll tell you what you're doing wrong at every stage. Whereas a Chinese instructor will more frequently explain to you how you do it, and then he'll say, now do the thing, and you do the thing, and he'll say no, and then you have to try to fix it, and you have to figure out yourself what it is you have to fix. And he'll just yell at you and yell at you and yell at you until you get it right. And once you get it right, he expects you to get it right every single time, because now you know what getting it right feels like. So it's just like, here I am, I draw this, and I go no, and I draw it again, and I go no, and I draw it again, and I go no. So I just do it over and over until I get it right. And then once I've got it right, I go, okay, that's right. And then I expect to do it right again, which of course I don't. So I just keep going until I get it right. Because what you want to do is you want to internalize what getting it right feels like. It's like I'm doing this partially with my wrist, but mostly with my shoulder. My shoulder is lifting upward. And this is a principle of Wing Chun, which is the iron elbow. You keep the elbow roughly at a 135-degree angle all the time, and it's the shoulder that moves the arm, and it's the wrist that moves the hand. So the way that I'm drawing this is kind of pivoting. I'm pivoting around the base of the hand, but it's from the shoulder, and the elbow's more or less locked, and I'm not really using my wrist much at all. It's just kind of there. And now I know what that feels like, so I should be able to do that over here. And if I now take this and I drag it over, put that back where it goes. If I now take this and I drag it over here, it should be pretty close. And it's not. It's too small. So I have messed that up. Let's try that again. Brush. That's not it. Maybe. Because that's too wide. See, I got to go back to... practicing over top of this. But that's the idea, is to get yourself to that point where you can do it outside of this. And see here, we've got this blue bit that's coming down across there. And you just start thinking in terms of colors. This is really kind of coming off of there. And that's coming up along here. All of these proportions just kind of sink in over time. And what you're really going for is trying to like keep these swoops of the line always just kind of all in one swoop. You don't want to kind of fuzz your way down. That's fine in a rough sketch. But when you start actually doing line art, you want to get these long, sweeping lines that are good and smooth and everything fits together well. I'm just going to pull all of that. One of the things about hair, and I've got to internalize this as well, to get these swoops that come off like this, you really need to do them quickly. Get them to have the right feel. You have to kind of sweep them out. And we can kind of see here that back behind this, what we've got with the hair here, if you continued it upward, it would be this same basic shape. So we come up like this. We got another piece like that. We got one here. We got one here. And all of these are these are shaded. And it's going to sound weird, but they're shaded like tentacles. That's kind of the way that they're done. Where you've got a bright highlight here, and you've got a dark area on either side of that, and then you've got sort of a reflected light going on over here. And this is just because they're in shadow, but the method of shading them is pretty much the same as you'd do for like an octopus tentacle, okay? Which, you know, hentai and tentacles, they go together. And you get kind of this, you can kind of think of it as rolling around, and you've got the underside here that'd have like the suckers on it, but then that rolls around, and then as that comes around here, you kind of get this big fat area. Or you could thin it out a little bit. I need to get used to selecting a consistent pen size. That would be useful. How's that one right there? 5? I like 5. 5 a good level. 5 is a little bit too light. Let's go 8. Nope. 15? 15 looks a little chunky. Yeah, let's go 12. Still chunky. 10? Seven. Okay, 7 looks good. There we are. Kind of this internalize what it feels like. To draw the hair. One of the things that I don't do, and that people frequently tell me I should, is rotate my canvas so that I can get more advantageous angles. Like if you have trouble drawing in a particular way, then just rotate a little and use a different angle. And that's good advice, but if you fall back on it too much, then you never learn how to draw all of the various bits and pieces you want to draw. Like right here, we've got this swoops up, and these little areas, we've got a swoop and a swoop. It looks like one of the things you're trying to do in stuff like this is you're trying to kind of suss out technique and figure out how are these things done. And if we go, well, that's the space. Why is that coming off? Oh, that's because I'm on the vector line and not on color. I need to be on a color layer. The vector line layer is necessarily black, so if we start here and just kind of swoop up. Now I'm running at about a 70 here. Let's drop it back to about a 50. Over here. A slightly smaller brush size there. This looks like what we've actually got is let me grab this aqua here. It looks like this is kind of swooped up out of the bottom there. Same over in this area, so it's just kind of swept up. It's not swept down to the end, but swept up into it, because you kind of see it trail off up into the hair. Like right here, we've got this dark blue. You just kind of fill in the area, and then for there, I really need to identify these colors kind of automatically. This is that's too dark. So we need a little more saturation, so there. Maybe about there, yeah. No, there. I just grab the internal area right there. I can see where that sits, and then I can see where that sits. It's about the same place, so it just shifts hue. And then we got this little bit of aqua right here, and this little bit of aqua right here. And we got these little barrette thingies up here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to think in terms of well, let's go back to our vector line, and we're going to go down to a 7. We're going to rough it. We're going to drop down to black. And from here, what we want to do, we've kind of got the idea of the face is right here. There's kind of the line of the face, and we want up around here, we can see that we've got some chin, and then here's the mouth right there. And the upper slope of the mouth, it kind of rounds up. Don't really care about the features right now. Then we've got the nose, And from the nose to the mouth and the nose to the bottom of the eyes should be about the same distance. So this should be the bottom of the eye over here and over here. And then we've got an eyelash here and an eyelash here. But we only need that to identify. Here's an eyebrow, here's an eyebrow. We don't really need to worry about this doesn't look right. Seems about right. This eyebrow is way too high up. Go back to 7. Actually, let's go up to 25. Brush. Brush. Let's go up to 25. Buff in the eyebrows there and there. And there's this little kind of line up here. That's what they call double eyelid in Korea. Just that little kind of additional fold. And what we need to think about here is the line of the hair, and we've got, I've been drawing a lot today, so my shoulder's tired. What we need here is, well, first of all, move this over a little and down a little. How about there? Looks good. Back to the brush. Okay. Back to a 7. Now the hairline, you can see there's a hairline that kind of goes there. Kind of starts a little above here and just rides up and along. So there's the line of the hair, and here's a hairline that comes up there, hairline that comes up there, and then we've got a little notch there, a large notch there, a larger notch there, little notch. Then we kind of shift directions. We go little, larger, little, long, little, and that's about right. Then here in the color vicinity, we need to go right about here in the aqua vicinity for this bit here. And we still want to be in the aqua vicinity for this bit here and this bit here. But we want to be more in the blue vicinity, right around there, for this middle bit. A little bit more blue. Like so, yeah. And a bit darker. There. We've got a little more aqua over here. All of this obviously is supposed to be filled in white. Let me right here, and we'll. No, I'm not going to fill that in just yet. Maybe I should be approaching this in more of a painting process. Maybe I should begin with a very large brush, not quite that large, and just kind of block in. Okay, here's where the hair goes. That's way too large. So what if we work like right about like that, and we just go, here's the middle of the hair, here's the side of the hair, and just kind of bring this down here. Is that more the direction that I want to go? Is kind of work from large shapes and then go down? I mean, we're going to want kind of this sweeping feel to it, but at the same time, this is a difficult question, actually. If we start off with the white like this, then we can just kind of carve our way through it instead of having to go through and try to like. Yeah, I think we should definitely. I think it should definitely start by. You know what? That should really come the other direction. Should come from the top of the head where the hair grows, and the sweep should come down in that direction. So that's kind of the direction we want to go there. But I think what I really want to do is have this layered a little bit differently. So I'm thinking in terms of how I would want to construct this as I'm blocking in an image. Let me go back to vector line and black. And I think as I'm blocking it in, what I want to do is I want to kind of get the I think what I would want to do to start with is I would want to kind of lay it out and go, okay, in a vector sketch with a somewhat larger pen, like that, I'd want to go, okay, here's the head right here, and here's the chin, and I would want to sort of rough out the general idea of where everything was going to go. And then, having done that, I would want to start splitting that out into layers. I would probably I think the thought process I'm thinking here is I think what I'm going for here would be sort of a there'd be a single layer core sketch, and then I would move on from that, and I would start to lay out more specifically like exactly where everything was. And then from that more exact layout, well, I'd want to take this and lower the opacity. So I'd have it to work from, but at the same time, it's not in my way. So I'd kind of work that out, and we'd have kind of there's the twin tail hanging down there. And then I would move on from that and do kind of line art on top of it. And use this to kind of work out the generalities of the proportion. So, for example, this would have where exactly are all of the bits and pieces. Here's the neck. Here's the outfit. Here's this big, thick collar. And there'd be a lot of drawing through in this stage of it. So I'd draw through there and just go, okay. And here's the edge of that collar there, and the collar's coming around here. And then just sort of clean that up bit by bit, but then start sort of layering as I go. I don't know, would that make things too chaotic? No, on the composition, I'd be erasing as I went. So like here, having drawn through, I could erase the bit where I drew through. Erase the unwanted lines, just kind of clean stuff up a little. And then from there, we'd move on to the vector line and the more detailed line art, where we drop the opacity of the construction, maybe not that far. But once we've dropped the opacity on the construction and we've got that, now we can kind of work from here. Sort of clean up things up, and then from here we would do the actual line art, clean things up in that fashion. And that comes around here like so. Here we've got the little ornament. We got the little we got the gathering going on there. And then this. Then these are kind of and once we've got the core of this, then we can go in and clean that up and improve it. I think that's kind of the direction that I want to go with constructions, to sort of start off, and that's of course when I'm starting from absolutely nothing and building stuff. And I think I've stayed in the red layers too long on the curtain call image. I think that I need to move on from red and start working in blue. I think red is for large, bold figures, and then blue is for kind of tightening stuff up and making sure that the proportions are right and things are in the right place. So I think I've really been on the I've really been in the stage on curtain call where I should have been working in blue for quite a while, but I haven't been because I'm a dumbass and I don't know what I'm doing. But that's okay, because I'm starting to get to a point here where it feels like I will, in reasonably short order, not as short as I'd like, I'm sure, but a reasonably short order, I should be able to start actually putting something out there that seems like an actual decent piece of work. I mean, not there yet, but kind of feel like soon. How soon? I don't know. This is important right here. This swoop in here. You can see the way that this fits together, this sort of crease up here that disappears into the shadow. You've got the shadow comes along here and then fades out. But that little crease right there, that shows the thickness of the material. How it's all warm and stuff. Which it needs to be. This neck is not coming down far enough. And he's come down about to there. So that we got room for the collar to come around. This is a problem right here. This is what we call a tangent. We've got this hairs coming down, we've got the collars coming down, and they're at about the same angle. So that hair has to change angle. So it's clear that the hair is coming in front of the collar. And we've actually got that in the original artwork here too. We've got a tangent there. That happens now and then, but you want to try to avoid it because it confuses the eye and you don't know like which is which and whether they're the same thing. And it's far more distressing to the viewer than you would expect. His head is way too large. I put the hairline way too far up. That needs to come farther down. GURA has a kind of a squashy, small face. That's the way she is that makes her cute. That very high forehead. So give me the lasso. There we go. And we'll grab that and we'll just go, oh, why don't you come down around here. And that looks pretty good. How's that look? Better. Not great, but better. All kinds of useful digital tools that you should absolutely be using. Yeah, you can see here. That's a real mess there. I haven't done very well on this at all. That's really not good. This GURA with a bad haircut. That's what. I knew I shouldn't have gone to that. I knew I shouldn't have gone to that ridiculous hairstyle. What the hell is wrong with my light? The right button. There we go. Something went wrong with my light there. Sorry, how messed up has my lighting been all this time? Oh well, what can you do? His mouth is also too... too narrow. Let's expand it outward. Move it down here. Let's move our pivot point and we'll rotate it a bit. Okay. That's better. Still kind of crappy, but yeah, the neck's too long. Everything over here is stretched. I've stretched everything vertically for some reason. I don't know why. I will have to work on that. I'll have to try and improve it. Anyway, I don't see this getting a whole lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and snap a picture for the gram and throw it up there and run away, because I don't really like interacting on Instagram. And let's see, Instagram, and we're gonna save this off. There's a GURA sketch, and then here, and we're gonna go. Let's save that off, and we're gonna go add, select, original aspect ratio. Next. Next. Working on some GAWRT again. Art process. Concentrating on hair and face in the line art process. Stretched it vertically. Need to work on that. Hit share, and your post has been shared. Okay, I'm gonna leave immediately. Ah! I hate Instagram. Go away. Leave me alone. I'm not an Instagram person. What can I say? Okay, so I definitely need to do some more work on the curtain call stuff, and I need to worry more about getting the construction to look better. And and getting the I need to get closer to a final product on this. I need to have higher quality lines and better quality line art so I can start really thinking in terms of getting this stuff done. Which I've gotten no closer to that really over the course of the past week, but still working on it, still focused on it. Lots of people are out there, they're doing stuff, and they're like, this took me 36 hours. I'll have 36 hours in this. I got like 6, maybe 7. Okay, more likely about 10 after the amount of work I put in this last week. But not a tremendous amount of work, okay? And this early stuff, this is the... this is much more difficult for me than it is for an accomplished professional artist. I'm much worse at this than I was when I started. But I'm also much better at this than I expected to be at this point. I'm really kind of... I'm hitting these kind of alternating strides where sometimes I feel like, hey, I did some great work this week, and sometimes I feel like, hey, I didn't do shit this week. And this past week, I really did feel like stuff got markedly better, you know, and I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like there's a solid possibility I could get stuff out there into the world and say, hey, look what I did, a lot sooner than I expected. And that's good, and I'm reasonably happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that the end of the stream. Make sure I save that off. That's already saved off. Okay. And again, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notify thing and the bell icon. Ring the bell icon and get everything fixed up. And hey, okay, bye.